Save your children.
Useless. A customer. Perhaps you'd like to trade. Find something to safeguard your...
His lascivious eyes flick over you to skin-crawling effect.
vulnerable flesh. A distant place called Nemesis. I couldn't resist the lure of this world, though. Such bloodshed and despair truly does loosen purse strings.
Make trade.
The creature runs a black tongue across its maw while staring at you hungrily. For a brief moment, you see row upon row of jagged teeth stretching right back to its gullet.
A distant, hungry place. Your war draws me. Make trade, or leave.
Might be nothing like this left in the world. Not since Lucian used the death fog on the elves.
The leaves of the altar rustle, a gentle murmur on the breeze. You feel calm, despite the low growls of the tiger standing beside you. You lean in, a sweet smell wafting around you, the smell of fresh wood, of blooming flowers, of a gentle summer's night. The scent fills your mind, and your vision starts to swim. You blink, and find yourself standing in a dark glade. On the wind, you hear a whisper, "God woken." You turn towards the voice and see the broken body of a fawn. A raven is perched upon its head, pecking at the gory hollow that once held its eye. You're about to turn away when the body twitches. "God woken," it whispers. The raven turns its gore-streaked beak towards you. Its eyes are a deep bloody red. God woken, it croaks as it takes to the air, circling the glade. God woken. The fawn's breathing is shallow and ragged. I need to heal, it murmurs. Please, I need your life's energy, please. I need your blood. Your god emerges as a snake, slithering along the ground towards the fawn, where it coils around its neck. The fawn is thrown into a panic, struggles to its feet, and crashes through the undergrowth, where it falls again, landing broken in a stream, reflections of moonlight dancing all around it. The snake returns with a satisfied hiss, but as it slithers back, you feel a cold, heavy thump on your shoulder. You look up into the fierce red eyes of the raven. I see you, Godwoken, it croaks. I see you. The blood-flecked beak lunges at your eye, and you feel it. You feel it tear through the lid, through the jelly, and crack against bone. You stumble back, grasping at your face. Your eyes are fine, but the altar is changed, with the crescent moon hacked into the wood. As you leave, you can't shake the dull, thudding ache in your eye.
I am at the ready. I have heard enough!
I will have your head, Seeker.
Be at ease, Magister Rowe. Weapons down. Gareth, I have done you a grave injustice. I was deceived, and I was too weak, too naive to see it.
Alexander holds his hands outwards towards Gareth, his blade resting flat across his palms, a gesture of goodwill and peace.
Godwoken, have you come to witness the death of the noble coward? How fortunate! You can tell the tale of Lucian's other wayward son. Amusing you should defend this slug's life on the basis of his ignorance. Have you seen the terror this man has wrought? Have you forgotten of the purgatory he threw you into? Have you forgotten what he has taken from me? My friends, my parents, my life, a life dedicated to service at his father's side. I've forgotten nothing. Alexander, you are the sinner, yet the gods have allowed us to suffer for it. I would kill you 100 times over if given the chance.
Gareth looks to you, then to Alexander. He digs his teeth into his lower lip until blood seeps out from the tender skin. The silence is thick, yet neither Gareth nor Alexander move.
You are not Damien. You are not Damien. Damien. My sins have been as great as yours, Alexander. I've just been too blind to see them. It's just your father. You could forgive Alexander when I could not, Godwoken. I hope you show me the same kindness. I will meet you aboard the Lady Vengeance when you are ready.
She gives you a cool and steady look, then turns away. As you approach Alexander, Ifan catches you by the shoulder.
You know how long I've sought Alexander. I need this. Understood.
Ifan strides forwards and feints a punch at Alexander's nose with his right hand. As the Divine Bishop raises his hands to protect himself, Ifan grasps both of his wrists and headbutts him. As Alexander staggers back, blood streaming from his nose, Ifan tightens his grip on Alexander's wrists and spits a question.
Why? Why did you and Lucian send me on a suicide mission to kill the elves? Why did you lie to me?
Alexander wrenches his hands free from Ifan's grasp and holds his broken nose, blood streaming between his shaking fingers.
Why? The same reason we did everything. To protect the realm. What price all of Rivellon against just one portion? Any divine would do the same if it meant saving everything. You should be proud my father picked you. His best right-hand man. He knew you would make it. But he also knew that if he told you the truth, you would falter. He knew you well, Ifan. He knew you'd have to be tricked. But I'm his son. I can be trusted to the end, and I will take any actions necessary for the good of all. Nothing can stop me, not even death.
Ifan draws his weapon. His hands are steady, calm, and controlled as can be. Just as he is about to move towards Alexander, he stops. He looks at you, and he shakes his head and looks away, striding with purpose towards Alexander.
Death stops everyone eventually. You rose from the dead once. You won't rise this time.
He halts, looking you in the eye. As he lowers his weapon, he smiles a shrewd smile, all teeth and promise.
For you, I can stop. For you, I can trust. Alexander knew. Lucian knew. I was nothing but a pawn.
His face darkens, and his hands shake.
Power truly corrupted Alexander, just as it did Lucian.
He raises one eyebrow and folds his arms protectively across his chest.
We'll see. We'll see.
If you have something to say, sorcerer, just spit it out. No, quite the opposite, in fact. I am more alive than ever. I walk in my father's footsteps, and soon I shall become the divine. Wrong! That proves I am the only one who is worthy. I have to decide who lives and who dies, for the sake of the greater good. That is what true power demands of you. Only I have the will, the strength to do what is necessary. And now that those traitors, Dallis and Friedemann, have no influence over me, the way forward is clear. She had her accomplice, Friedemann, pose as someone who could train me how to master my god-woken powers. But it was a lie. They sought to hinder, not help. While I was being occupied by Friedemann, Dallis began taking over the Order. I confronted them once I returned from the Hall of Echoes, and the pair of them tried to kill me. They must be Black Ring agents, tasked with preventing me from ascending. They won't succeed, though. I know what needs to be done, and I have good, loyal Magister and Paladin companions to help me see that it is done. I was born for this duty. As long as he lived, my father groomed me to take his place, to speak for the gods. And make no mistake, divinity is a duty, not a reward. Others may be able to claim the mantle, but only I can shoulder the burden, the responsibility. Make no mistake, Godwoken. I do not need to work with you. I will enter the council when I am fit and ready. But you are desperate. That much is clear. Make yourself of use to me, and I shall help you unlock the council. You must strike down the one who leads the Black Ring on this island. That is my price. Do you really think the future divine should take such risks? Besides, you're the one seeking help. Perhaps you can put your murderous skills to use for the greater good. He's known as the Sallow Man. My father faced him in battle during the Great War. He's a wicked creature, a master of illusions who hides in the shadows and sends others to do his bidding.
Alexander produces an old cowl and mutters an incantation. The cloth glows a cool blue for a moment before settling back. He hands the cowl over to you.
My father concocted this charm so that he could face the Sallow Man in battle. The cowl has now been laced with its essence. Wear it, and he will be forced to reveal himself. Succeed, and perhaps you can join me inside the council. There we can see who shall be the next divine. once and for all.
You're thinking the same thing. Alexander wants to be the new divine.
Divinity requires a certain strength of character this whippersnapper woefully misses.
We're talking about the same person, right? Trusting Alexander to be divine would be proof of madness.
Didn't that guy pretty much invent Fort Joy? Imagine him as the divine.
As if from nowhere, a sweating warrior appears before you.
Who the hell's be yow? Thralls to Almira. I borrowed Yower goods, mistress. The Divine Order pigs be here at the temple, and I would have Yower pets kill 'em.
He points you towards the nearby temple, where a skirmish continues.
Yow have Yower orders. Get to it!
Comprehension spreads across his face, and he bares his teeth.
I fear not death, for I shall have eternal life. Yow should fear Yower own demise, for Yow it is Yower end.
Black Ring? I thought they were a spent force. Clearly not.
So few of us are left. A direct attack against the Black Ring would be suicide. I hope the bishop has something else in...
The altar stands before you, flecked with moss and the cracks of age. An ant crawls across the surface, dipping in and out of the inscription that's engraved on the rock. In honor of Rhalic, first of the gods and patron of humanity. As your prayer drifts away on the breeze, you feel the world around you shift. You open your eyes to a courtyard with wooden targets and practice posts scattered about. A man stands in the center of the court, his face turned towards the sun, his eyes wide open. He's old, grey hair matted against his skin, but you still recognize him, Rhalic. He doesn't look over as you approach. It's only when you're standing right beside him that you see that his eyes are clouded and grey as his hair. He is completely blind. "Go, God-woken," he croaks, a faint smile on his face. "Go and do your duty." The vision fades, and you stand once more in the shadow-speckled glade of Rhalic's temple. Looking down at the altar, you see a faded symbol for the sun carved into the rock. The spirit of a woman in strange armor stands before you. Visible on her breastplate is the seal of Rhalic. She casts an imperious eye over you.
Godwoken, you're late. The world bleeds while you dawdle. Linger no more, the trials await. Because I was the same as you once, a Godwoken.
She looks you over once again. The judgmental arch of her eyebrows suggests you're less than she had hoped for.
Perhaps not exactly like you, but I heard the call and came here to face the trials of the gods. I was not chosen for divinity. Instead, I became a guardian of this temple, a knight of Rhalic. The Black Ring ended my vigil. They came, intent on destroying this place. I fought them off as long as I could, but there were too many. The altars shall show the way, but only to those deemed worthy. Bow and pray to each altar. The way may be revealed to you then. Or it may not. If the gods do not choose you to progress, then you'll likely share my fate. Make haste then. The Void's power is growing. It must be stopped. There was a reluctance in my heart. A lingering doubt. To be divine is to shoulder a great responsibility. Deep down, I didn't want that responsibility for myself. The gods must have sensed my unwillingness. Still, I wanted to serve them. I became a Knight of Rhalic that day.
The spirit of a Magister priestess swipes her staff in wide arcs through the air. She turns and spots something.
Wargs! Sir, watch out! Get away from him, you foul creature!
A ghostly cacophony reaches your ears, the snarl of a beast and the screams of a man. The priestess lunges forward to help someone unseen. There's another scream, cut short by a wet crunch. The priestess falls backwards, clutching a severed arm in Paladin garb.
Magisters and Paladins fighting alongside each other. A rare sight indeed.
My thanks to you and your friends. I had never died before. I felt so much pain, so much fear. It was delicious. Shame I shall not taste death again once my lord returns. But when he does, you will beg for the sweet aroma of death. Oh no, there you are quite mistaken. I have already taken his covenant, and he rewards his loyal followers. fear. I will return. We shall all return. It is the God King's will.